There's a moment in every man's romantic life where he realizes he's been playing the game backwards. He's been chasing, texting first, planning dates, showing up, proving himself, doing everything right, and still watching her pull away. And the worst part? He can't figure out why. He followed the script. He was committed. He tried hard. So why does she seem more interested in the guy who barely texts her back? Here's what almost no dating advice will tell you. Chasing doesn't signal commitment. It signals desperation. And desperation is the opposite of attractive. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is about the psychology behind human attraction, not the fantasy version you see in movies, but the real version that operates in human nature. Today, we're going deep into something that will either liberate you or make you deeply uncomfortable. Probably both. We're talking about perceived value, not arrogance, not games, not manipulation. Perceived value. The psychological principle that determines whether someone chases you or whether you're forever chasing them. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works, why most men get it backwards, and what happens when you finally understand it. But here's the thing. Understanding this requires you to let go of something you've probably been holding on to your entire life. And that's going to be uncomfortable, because what you have to release is the very thing you thought was protecting you. Your ego, your pride, the need to control the outcome. If you're ready to see how attraction actually works, not how you wish it worked, but how it really works, stay with me. This will change not just how you approach women, but how you see yourself. And it might be the most important 30 minutes you spend this week. And if this resonates, subscribe. We go deeper into the psychology of power, attraction, and human behavior here. Let's go. Let me tell you about a version of myself I used to be. Not because I'm special, but because he's probably you. His name doesn't matter. Let's call him Marcus. And Marcus was doing everything he thought was right. He was a good man, ambitious, built a decent life, had a career, had friends, took care of himself. But when it came to women, specifically when it came to women he actually wanted, he became someone else, someone smaller, someone desperate. Here's what Marcus looked like. He met a woman. She was beautiful, smart, had this energy that made him feel alive. And the moment he felt that spark, something happened to him. His entire operating system changed. He started texting her. Not casual texts, frequent texts. He'd think about what to say, craft the message, send it, wait for a response, check his phone 47 times. When she didn't text back immediately, he'd rationalize. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she didn't see it. So he'd send another one, a follow-up, a joke, something to keep the conversation going. He'd plan dates, elaborate dates. He'd research restaurants she might like, think about what would impress her, spend money he didn't have to spare, all to create this perfect moment that would finally make her see how much he cared. And in those moments, before the date, Marcus felt alive. He felt like he was doing something. He was investing. He was committed. He was trying. But here's what was actually happening. And this is where it gets dark. He was signaling weakness. Every text he sent without getting a response first was a signal. I value your attention more than you value mine. Every elaborate date he planned was a signal. I need to earn your interest. Every moment he thought about what to say before texting was a signal. Your opinion of me matters more than my opinion of myself. He wasn't being romantic. He wasn't being committed. He was being desperate, and she could feel it. And here's the thing, Marcus couldn't understand why this pushed her away. In his mind, effort equals love. Trying equals commitment. Showing up equals devotion. But attraction doesn't work on the logic of effort. Attraction works on the logic of scarcity. And by chasing, Marcus was doing the opposite. He was creating abundance. He was saying, I am endlessly available to you. There is no scarcity here. You can take your time. You can deprioritize me. It doesn't matter because I will keep chasing. That's not attractive. That's a funeral march. But Marcus didn't see it that way. He saw a woman he wanted. And in his mind, the solution was simple. Try harder, chase more, be more available, prove more. And so he did. And she pulled away more. And the worst part? He had no idea why. Here's what most people don't understand. This wasn't a one-time situation for Marcus. This was a pattern, a repeating loop he couldn't break. Woman 1, he'd chase. She'd pull away. He'd chase harder. She'd disappear. He'd feel destroyed. Then he'd meet woman 2, and thinking he learned the lesson, he'd do the exact same thing. Same texts, same energy, same desperation, same outcome, and woman 3 and 4 and 5. Each time Marcus would tell himself, next time I'll do it right, next time I'll be more careful, next time I'll play it cooler. But he wouldn't, because the problem wasn't his tactics. The problem was his operating system. His entire internal structure was built on the belief that if he just tried hard enough, if he just cared enough, if he just invested enough, he could make someone interested in him. This is the tragedy of the chasing man. He's not stupid. He's not unaware. He's often hyper-aware. He's analyzing every text. He's thinking about every move. He's constantly trying to optimize for her interest. But he's playing a game where the rules don't apply. You can't optimize your way into attraction. You can't logic someone into wanting you. You can't try hard enough at something that requires you to stop trying. And that's what Marcus never understood. By the time Marcus came to me, he'd been in this cycle for almost a decade of chasing, of investment, of hope followed by devastation. And here's what it had cost him. It cost him his self-respect. Because every time he chased, every time he got rejected, every time he lowered his standards just to get a text back, he was telling himself that he wasn't enough, that he needed to prove his worth. It cost him his time, hours spent crafting messages, days spent planning dates, weeks spent waiting for responses, years spent in cycles that had the same ending every time. It cost him his energy, the mental and emotional exhaustion of being dependent on someone else's validation, the constant anxiety of will she text back? Does she like me? Am I doing enough? It cost him his options. Because while he was focused on one woman, on trying to make her interested, he wasn't meeting other women. He wasn't building his life. He wasn't creating scarcity or value or anything that would actually make him attractive. And most importantly, it cost him his power, his autonomy, his ability to walk away. Because when you're chasing, you've already surrendered. You've already said, your validation is more important than my self-respect. That's expensive. That costs everything. The shift didn't come from some revelation. It came from exhaustion. Marcus was at a breaking point. He'd been chasing for months. Different women, same pattern. The harder he tried, the more they lost interest. And one day, I remember this moment specifically. He was sitting alone in his apartment, staring at a message he'd written to a woman. A long message. Vulnerable, emotional. He'd spent 20 minutes crafting it, and he was about to hit send, and in that moment, something broke. Not in a collapse way, in a clarity way. He realized, I am begging a stranger to validate me. Not in those words, but that's what it felt like. He was asking for her interest, hoping for her interest, performing for her interest. Marcus had spent the entire day thinking about this woman, what she might be doing, whether she'd read his last message, whether he should follow up. And instead of living his life, instead of working, creating, building, growing, he was stuck in this loop of her. He'd built an entire narrative in his head, a fantasy where she suddenly texted him back and said something that validated everything he'd been feeling, where his effort finally paid off, where the universe rewarded his dedication. But the universe doesn't work that way. And more importantly, he knew that. On some level, Marcus understood that he was chasing an illusion, that the woman he'd built in his mind didn't exist, that the real woman, the actual human being, probably had no idea what she meant to him, probably didn't think about him the way he thought about her, probably wasn't impressed by his efforts, but he kept doing it anyway. because understanding is not freedom. And then something shifted. It wasn't a decision. It was a recognition. A recognition that he had no power in this dynamic. She had all the power because he'd given it to her. Every text, every date, every moment of availability, he was handing her the remote control to his emotional state. And here's the thing that hit him like a truck. She didn't ask for that power. She didn't earn it. He just gave it to her. He put the phone down. He didn't send the message. And that's when everything changed. Not because he suddenly became some aloof, mysterious guy. Not because he started playing games, but because something real shifted inside him. He stopped needing her to validate him. And here's where most people misunderstand this. They think Marcus suddenly became cold, that he started ignoring her, that he played hard to get. He didn't. What actually happened was more subtle and more powerful. He stopped seeking her approval and started having his own standards. He looked at his life. He was a competent man. He had a career. He had friends. He had interests. He had things he was building. And he'd been treating all of that as secondary to her attention. And in that moment, something clicked. Why am I organized around her? Why is her validation worth more than my time? Why am I willing to sacrifice my self-respect for a woman who doesn't even know my middle name? The answer was, he wasn't. Not anymore. And the paradox, the thing almost no one understands, is that the moment he stopped needing her validation, he became valuable to her. Why? Because perceived value isn't about status or looks or money. It's about scarcity. It's the signal that says, this person has options. This person has a life. This person is not dependent on me. And suddenly, she started texting him first. She started initiating plans. She started chasing, not because he was playing games, but because he was finally real. He had a life outside of her. He wasn't available for every whim. He had standards. He had boundaries. He wasn't desperate. And that single shift in his internal state changed everything. But here's what's crucial. This wasn't about tactics. This wasn't about waiting 3 hours to text back. This wasn't about saying no just to seem unavailable. This was about a fundamental shift in how Marcus saw himself. He went from, I need her validation to feel good about myself, to, I feel good about myself, and I'm open to sharing that with someone who adds value to my life. Do you see the difference? The first position is desperate. It's needy. It's vulnerable to manipulation. The second position is powerful. It's selective. It's attractive. And women, especially the ones worth having, can feel that difference. They can sense when a man is operating from wholeness versus fragmentation, from self-respect versus self-abandonment. And they respond to wholeness. That's not a game. That's not manipulation. That's just human nature. Over the next few weeks, Marcus didn't try to change. He didn't perform confidence. He just started living differently. He went to the gym because he wanted to, not to impress her. He invested in a project he cared about, not to have something to talk about with her. He spent time with his friends, not to make her jealous. He became busy, not artificially, but genuinely. And the paradox deepened. The less available he was, the more she tried to get his attention. The more he lived his life, the more interested she became. The less he chased, the more she pursued. It was like watching a law of physics in real time, like watching gravity work. And Marcus, for the first time in a long time, could breathe. He was no longer dependent on her responses. Her slowness in texting no longer triggered anxiety. Her ambiguity no longer created obsession, because his worth was no longer tied to her opinion. And that's the real transformation. Not that she chased him, but that he finally became someone worth chasing, not as a tactic, but as a way of being. So what actually happened? Let's break down the psychology, because this isn't magic. It's not mystery. It's mechanism. When Marcus stopped chasing, 3 things happened simultaneously. Desperation has a signature. It's invisible, but it's loud. It's in the frequency of your messages. It's in how quickly you respond. It's in your body language. It's in your willingness to bend yourself around someone else's whims, and women, especially the ones worth having, are exquisitely attuned to it. They have to be. It's a survival mechanism. Desperation signals neediness. Neediness signals weakness. Weakness signals vulnerability to manipulation. But when you're not desperate, that signature disappears. Marcus used to text a woman and wait. He'd put his phone down, then pick it up 30 seconds later to check. When she didn't respond in an hour, he'd think, maybe she didn't see it. Maybe I should send another one. By the time 24 hours had passed and she finally responded, he'd have already sent 2 more texts. His brain had spiraled. He'd imagined 50 different scenarios. Had he said something wrong? Was she losing interest? Should he send a funny meme to break the tension? This is desperation in action, and she could feel it. She could sense his anxiety through the screen. But when Marcus stopped, when he texted because he had something to say, not because he was seeking validation, she felt that too. He'd text once, put his phone away, go work on his project. When she texted back 6 hours later, he'd respond when he had a moment. Not because he was playing games, but because he had a life happening. Your texts come when you have something to say, not when you're reaching out for reassurance. Your responses are measured, not instant. Your availability is selective, not total. And suddenly, you're no longer broadcasting weakness. You're broadcasting strength. Here's what's happening in her brain on a chemical level. When you're desperate, when you're constantly available, her brain registers certainty. You're predictable. And predictability doesn't trigger dopamine. Boredom doesn't trigger dopamine. But when you're scarce, when she doesn't know if you'll respond, when she can't predict you, her brain starts releasing dopamine in anticipation. She's constantly searching for clues. Is he interested? Does he care? Will he text me? That uncertainty creates craving. And craving is what makes people pursue. This is neuroscience. It's not manipulation. Here's the dark truth that most dating advice won't touch. Women are attracted to scarcity. Scarcity means you have options. Scarcity means your time is valuable. Scarcity means you have standards. Scarcity means you won't accept just anything. When Marcus was chasing, he was creating abundance. He was saying, I am infinitely available. I have no other options. My entire world revolves around you. That signals something crucial to her psychology. Instability. A man willing to abandon himself for her today is capable of resenting her tomorrow, of blaming her, of becoming volatile. So she pulls away, not consciously, instinctively. But when Marcus stopped, he created scarcity, genuinely. He had a life. He had projects. He had friends. His attention became valuable because it was limited. And the moment something becomes scarce, it becomes desirable. Think about concerts. When a band announces 10 shows, tickets don't sell out. But when they announce one final show, the resale market explodes. People offer 5 times face value. Why? Because scarcity creates urgency. Same principle applies to you. When you're infinitely available, when you're always ready to see her, you're communicating. You're easy to get. You're common. But when you have a full life, when she has to earn your time, when you make her wait sometimes, you're communicating. I'm valuable. I'm in demand. You're lucky to have me. And the women worth having? They respond to that. But here's what separates this from manipulation. It has to be real. You can't fake this. Women sense inauthenticity like sharks sense blood. What changed in Marcus wasn't his behavior. His behavior changed because something changed internally. He genuinely stopped needing her validation, and that requires you to let go of control. Most men think the way to win a woman is to control the dynamic, to be strategic, to text at the right time, to say the right thing. But the moment you're trying to control the outcome, you've already lost, because desperation is just control in disguise. And the moment you release that need to control, the moment you genuinely accept that you can't make someone interested in you, something magical happens. You become dangerous, not in a violent way, in a free way. You're no longer trying to bend reality. You're living in reality as it is, and that is attractive. Because a free man has boundaries. A free man can walk away. A free man isn't desperate. And the moment a woman senses that you can walk away, that you're choosing her, the power dynamic inverts. On a primitive level, women are attracted to men who have options. It's evolutionary. A man with options is a man with value. He's proven he's worth something. Other women want him. But a man with no options, that signals he's been rejected by everyone else. That he's not valuable. That he's available because no one better wants him. So when you stop being desperate, when you build a life that doesn't revolve around her, you're not just changing your behavior. You're changing your status in her mind. From guy who's lucky to have me to guy I'm lucky to have. And that shift in status changes everything. But here's where we get to the part that will either liberate you or piss you off. Most of the women men are desperately chasing don't deserve their energy. Let me say that again because it's important. Most of the women men are desperately chasing don't deserve their energy. Here's what happens. A man meets a woman. She's beautiful. She's got this energy. She's smart. She makes him feel alive. And in that moment, he decides, I must have her. And from that moment on, his entire value system becomes, what do I need to do to make her want me? He's not evaluating her. He's not asking, does she treat me well? Does she respect me? Does she make my life better? Is she someone I actually want to build with? He's asking, how do I make her chase me? And in doing that, he's handed all his power to someone who hasn't earned it. Here's the real strategy that no one talks about. It's not about making her chase you. It's about only pursuing women worth chasing back. Because the moment you change that internal frame, the moment you shift from, how do I make her want me, to, do I actually want her, everything inverts. Suddenly, you're the one with standards. Suddenly, you're evaluating her. Suddenly, you're not desperate because you're not dependent on this one outcome. The women who require desperate chasing, the ones who pull away the moment you stop pursuing them, they're showing you who they are. They need constant validation. They need to feel wanted. They need to feel chased. And that's not a woman worth chasing. Here's the dark truth. The women most men are desperate for are the ones who will never be satisfied, because their entire internal structure is built on needing to feel pursued. The moment you stop pursuing, they lose their source of validation, so they find someone else who will. And the man who was willing to destroy himself chasing her, gets left wondering what he did wrong. He did nothing wrong. He was just chasing someone unworthy of his energy. That's the real wisdom here. Not how to make her chase you, but how to select women worth chasing back. So how do you actually do this? Let me give you 3 specific shifts. When you find yourself desperate for a specific woman, ask yourself, am I chasing her? Or am I chasing the idea of her? Most men are chasing the idea, the fantasy, not the actual woman. Ask yourself honestly, if I removed the fantasy, would I actually want this woman? Does she treat me well? Does she respect me? Does she add to my life or subtract from it? Because if the answer is no, then you're not chasing her. You're chasing your own validation through her. Stop making her your priority. Make your mission your priority. What are you building? What are you creating? What are you becoming? When your life is organized around that, not around her, you naturally become more valuable. Your time becomes precious because you're investing it in things that matter. Your attention becomes valuable because it's directed toward your growth. Your presence becomes rare because you're not constantly available. And the women worth having? They recognize this. They see a man with direction, a man with purpose, a man who isn't looking to be completed by them, but who's inviting them into something he's already building. That's attractive. This is the hardest part, and it requires you to let go of your ego. Your ego is the part that says, I must have her because having her will prove I'm valuable. Your ego is the part that's desperate. That's chasing. That's performing. And the moment you can look at your ego and say, I don't need you to validate me anymore, I validate myself. The moment you release that, you become free. And freedom is the most attractive thing in the world, because a free man can't be manipulated. A free man has standards. A free man can walk away. And the moment a woman senses that you can walk away, that you're choosing her, not needing her, the power dynamic inverts. This isn't about being cold. It's about being real. Real boundaries, real standards, real self-respect. And that's what creates the reversal. Here's what I want you to understand. This isn't a trick. This isn't manipulation. This is reality. Attraction follows a law. And that law is, people are attracted to people who don't need them. The moment you stop chasing, the moment you build a life worth living, the moment you release your ego's need to be validated, that's when women start chasing you. Not all women. The right women, the ones worth having. If this video resonated, share it, subscribe. See you in the next one.